Are you looking for the best budget GPU for 4K gaming? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best budget GPU for 4K gaming on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Asus the SFF-Ready Prime 5070 OC. The Asus SFF-Ready Prime GeForce RTX 5070 OC Edition 12GB GDDR7 is an outstanding graphics card that delivers flagship-level performance in a compact, efficient design perfectly suited for modern small form factor (SFF) builds. Asus has done an exceptional job with the engineering on this card. The 2.5 slot design fits neatly into tighter cases without compromising airflow or cooling efficiency. The minimalist, industrial aesthetic looks great in both windowed and non-windowed builds. The AxialTech fans run quiet under load and ramp down smoothly at idle, keeping temps in check without becoming a noise nuisance. Powered by the new RTX 5070 GPU with 12GB of ultra-fast GDDR7 memory, this card chews through modern AAA titles at 1440p ultra settings with ease and even holds its own in 4K with DLSS 3 enabled. Frame pacing is smooth, ray tracing performance is excellent, and overall thermals stay impressively low thanks to Asus's cooling enhancements. Number 2. Zotac Gaming GeForce RTX 5080 Solid. The Zotac Gaming GeForce RTX 5080 Solid OC White Edition is an absolute standout in the next-gen GPU market. With cutting-edge DLSS 4, 16GB of ultra-fast GDDR7, and a bold white aesthetic, this card not only delivers peak performance, it looks incredible doing it. Armed with 30 gigabits per second GDDR7 memory and the raw horsepower of the RTX 5080 architecture, this card is a dream for gamers and creators alike. Expect buttery smooth frame rates at 4K ultra settings, ray tracing maxed out, and DLSS 4 working its magic to keep visuals sharp and frame rates high. It easily handles intensive workloads, from real-time rendering and 3D modeling to ultra-demanding titles like Cyberpunk 2077 with path tracing enabled. Benchmarks consistently show this card outperforming the previous generation by a solid margin, especially in newer titles optimized for DLSS 4 and RTX I/O. Number 3. NZXT Kraken Elite. The NZXT Kraken Elite 280 RGB 2024 is hands down one of the best 280mm AIO coolers available right now. With its exceptional thermal performance, elegant design, and a sharp customizable LCD display, it's a high-end solution that delivers both form and function. The NZXT turbine pump paired with the F280 RGB core fans offers superb cooling for modern CPUs, especially high-performance chips like the Ryzen 9 7950X or Intel i9-14900K. In both idle and load scenarios, temps remained consistently low and stable, even during stress testing. The fans ramp up smoothly under load and remain surprisingly quiet thanks to optimized acoustics. The 2.72-inch IPS LCD is a major highlight, crisp, bright, and endlessly customizable. It supports everything from real-time performance metrics, CPU/GPU temps, RPMs, load percent, to GIFs, custom images, or logos. It adds serious personalization to your build and is easy to configure via NZXT CAM software. In white builds, this cooler truly shines. The RGB on the fans is vibrant and diffused, avoiding harsh hotspots. The white housing complements the lighting perfectly, making it ideal for themed setups. The overall design is clean, futuristic, and premium, a real centerpiece for any PC. Number 4. Asus TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 4060 TOC. According to the latest Steam hardware survey, 1080p is still far and away the most popular display resolution for PC gamers. While that number has been going down over time, it makes sense why so many people still play at 1080p. It's simply more affordable to play at this resolution, as you don't need an extremely powerful graphics card to play even the most impressive AAA games. Plus, because of the low power demands for this resolution, it remains extremely popular among esports players, who can get insane frame rates that are just not possible at 4K. And that's what makes the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4060 such a great 1080p graphics card. The RTX 4060 is affordable at $399 and is easily able to play any game at 1080p at a high frame rate, and I don't mean just 60 frames per second. You see, in my review, I found the RTX 4060 to exceed 100 frames per second in most of the games I tested. In fact, the only game that it didn't top 100 frames per second in was Cyberpunk 2077, with 76 frames per second, but that number went all the way up to 122 frames per second once I enabled frame generation. Number 5. Nvidia RTX 4090. When it comes to 4K gaming, or any other resolution for that matter, the RTX 4090 is far and away the fastest GPU available. Not only is the 4090 great for gaming at 4K but also for creative applications, thanks to its massive 24GB VRAM and raw power. At $1,600, the 4090 is as expensive as last generation's flagship models but vastly more powerful. In our review, we found that the 4090 averaged a frame rate of 108 frames per second (FPS) across several games tested at 4K and maximum or nearly maximum graphics settings. By contrast, the last generation RTX 3090 only achieved 57 frames per second, and the 3090 Ti 64 frames per second. In select games, you can enable DLSS to get even higher frame rates without sacrificing any visual details. The RTX 4090 also has support for DLSS 3, and it is arguably the first GPU to make ray tracing at 4K truly possible. In Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K with ray tracing turned up to Ultra, the 4090 was able to hit 43 frames per second, which is much better than the RTX 3090 but still pretty low. However, enabling DLSS and dropping a setting or two could get the 4090 to 60 frames per second.